Hello there, friends. This is Cole from the Arizona Science Center, and thank you all for tuning in for yet another educational video. I am super excited today because we have a pretty lit demo on this table right here. I know, okay, kind of corny, but it really plays into what we're talking about today because today we're talking about fire and combustion. Now, what is combustion? Well, combustion is essentially when you take three major things, you put them all together, and it makes a fire in a certain way. Now, what do you think those three things are? If you have any idea, go ahead and throw it in the comments below, or wait for right now because I'm about to tell you. So we have something in the scientific community called the combustion triangle. Like, triangle is made up of the three elements it takes to make a fire or to make a combustion. Now, the first element we're going to talk about is fuel. Fuel is needed because you need to burn something during a fire. Now, that fuel can be anything from a gaseous fuel source, like this propane right here. It could be a liquid-based fuel source, like gasoline or kerosene. Or it could even be a powder-based fuel source, like what I have in this container right here. I'm not going to tell you about it right now because I'm going to tell you all about it in a few minutes. So that's the first one, right? We have fuel on the very bottom. Next, we're going to go ahead and talk about oxygen. Now, oxygen is super important because it facilitates that burning. Without oxygen, there is no fire and no fuel source whatsoever. So we have our fuel and we also have our oxygen up here. Now, the last element of our triangle, our combustion triangle, is going to be heat because you need something to spark it off, right? So that's why a lot of lighters, or that's why all lighters, I should say, have a flint piece to kind of cause a little spark to happen, to ignite the liquid fuel source inside of them. So those are the three elements of the combustion triangle. Now let's go ahead and do a quick demo on combustion. Now on our websites, we have a few different combustion demos, but we're gonna be trying something a little bit different today. Today, I am going to light my hands on fire. Now that sounds pretty dangerous, right? But thankfully I've been trained in a certain way to know exactly how to do this so that I am entirely safe and protected while doing this crazy fire demo. What that means is that anything you see me do on this video today, don't try to replicate it. I'm a professional, I know exactly what I'm doing. Please enjoy the video and the science behind it, but don't try to replicate it at home, friends. Alrighty, so what I'm actually gonna do first is I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands to make sure that there is nothing that can be burnt on them. I'm just gonna go ahead and rinse them off. Alrighty, so now they're all nice and wet. Next, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this propane tank. So remember, we have our three prongs of the combustion triangle. This is gonna be our fuel source, right? So we have propane. You might see this at a barbecue cookout or something along those lines. Maybe at a campsite. I think this one's for like a lamp of sorts you would find at a campsite. But we're gonna go ahead and turn this on, and then Josh, my amazing camera person, if you actually wanna come over and check out these bubbles I'm making. So normally what's inside of bubbles is air, right? So we have some soapy water right here. What we're actually doing right now is I am pumping in propane into these bubbles. So these bubbles don't have regular oxygen and air inside of them. They have propane, which is very, very flammable. Now I'm gonna get a lot in there. I think that's probably enough. And I am going to go ahead and put the propane away, just so it's not near the fire whatsoever. Hands are still wet and everything. I'm gonna kill the lights too, so you can see this a little bit better. Let the camera adjust a bit. And before I get into this again, please don't try this at home. And then also, if you look at me, I'm wearing a fireproof lab coat and also some safety goggles. That means I'm wearing my PPE, or my proper protective equipment. So I'm fully ready for this science experiment. If you ever do a science experiment at home, make sure you're wearing the proper safety gear as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my wet hand and scoop up a decent amount of these bubbles. And then I'm gonna need you all to count down with me, friends, okay? The way we're gonna do that is we're gonna go 3, 2, 1, combustion! And I'll light my hand on fire. All right, are you all ready to do it with me? All right, perfect. So let's count down. 3, 2, 1, combustion! Pretty wild, right? Now, why am I okay? Why is my hand okay? Well, what actually happened is I not only put the propane on my hand, I also put on something called an aqueous layer. Can you all say aqueous layer? Good job. That was really, really good. Now what an aqueous layer is essentially, think of it as a water shield. So when I went and washed my hands were then covered in water. So the propane couldn't get on my skin, and therefore it burned on top of the water. The water protected me from it. Would you all like to see that one more time? All right, I can definitely do that. So let's go ahead and see if I can scoop up a little bit more now. I don't need to wash my hands again because they've already been washed, and there's water in this as well. Let's try to get up as much as I can. And I need you all to count down with me again. All right, you ready? 3, 2, 1, combustion. All right. Yes, and as you can see, perfectly unscathed, a little bit warm and toasty, but other than that, perfectly unscathed. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this off to the side and wash my hands once more to get that propane and water off. Just needs a quick rinse. Don't really need to use any soap for this, but if you're washing your hands at home, make sure you are using soap and doing it for at least 20 seconds. Alrighty. Now this is improper manners, but thankfully my parents aren't here, so I don't really need to worry about doing that. Let's go ahead and talk about our next fuel source before I start suiting up. So over here, Josh, if you want to kind of come over, I'll turn the stage lights back on. We have something in this container called Lycopodium. Now, I know what you're thinking, not like this podium, Lycopodium. Again, really corny joke. But essentially, Lycopodium is a plant spore. It's very, very small. It's a powder that occurs naturally in nature. And it is essentially what magicians use whenever they throw fireballs. So if you ever go to a magic show or you see a street performer and they throw a big fireball all of a sudden, this is more than likely what they are using. So I'm not gonna be throwing a fireball today, unfortunately. I'm gonna do one better. I'm gonna blow a fireball like a dragon. Would you all like to see that? Awesome, I really wanna see it too. So what I need to do is I'm gonna go ahead and turn the lights back off a little bit. Wait for that camera to adjust. I am gonna go ahead and put on my gloves so I can protect my hands. And I'm going to see if I can light, yep, there we go. I'm gonna light this little container over here. It's a ceramic bowl with a sponge that's covered in isopropyl alcohol, which is a very, very clean burning alcohol. So there we go. Next, I'm gonna move the Lycopodium off to the side a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and take this long, long tube and I'm gonna scoop up just a little bit of Lycopodium into it. That looks like more than enough. You're gonna see a pretty big fireball. And I'm gonna go ahead and get really close to here. I'm gonna blow it out this way. Alrighty, my friends. Are you ready to count down with me again? Good. All right. 3, 2, 1, combustion! Did you all see that? That's pretty wild, right? That's pretty crazy. Do you want to see it again? I bet you do. Okay. So, let's go ahead and scoop up a little bit more. That is, again, more than enough. And we're gonna go ahead and blow another dragon's breath fireball. All right, count down with me one more time, friends. Ready? 3, 2, 1, combustion! Ooh, we got a lot on that one. All right, friends, I'm gonna go ahead and now put out the fire with my gloves. They're gonna protect my hand. And there we go. And that has been our demo today, my friends. So, get some lights here for the very, very end. Thank you all so much for tuning in. It's been a pleasure doing this science demo for you. If you like what you see today and want to maybe do some more activities kind of along these lines, we have a ton of them on our website, azscience.org. That's, again, azscience.org, where we essentially have a catalog of fun science activities that you can do with your parents at your own home. Just go ahead to that website and find them, and we hope that you have a great time with those. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook to keep up with our daily demos. We have one every day at 9:30 in the morning, and then another one at 1 p.m. And other than that, my friends, we hope you are having a good time. Hope you're all doing well and practicing safe social distancing. And once more, for the last time, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great day.